Imagine signing a strict, like, $1 million non-disclosure agreement.
Right.
You go into a lockdown television studio, assuming everything you say is safely sealed in some corporate vault, until an editor polishes it 6 months from now.
Which is the whole point of reality TV production.
Exactly. And then suddenly a raw, completely unedited recording of you insulting your coworker leaks directly to the internet.
It's a total nightmare scenario.
It really is. In the reality TV ecosystem, the call is increasingly coming from inside the house.
Yeah, the leaks are just everywhere lately.
So today we're looking at this intense battle for narrative control. We're breaking down unauthorized audio leaks, shattering cast friendships.
And those unexpected A-list celebrity crossovers.
Right. Plus literal $1 million reconciliations that defy all legal logic, and decade-old court receipts coming back to haunt cast members who thought their pasts were totally buried.
It's a packed one.
We'll cover everything coming up in this audio. Hey, this is Delilah.
Hey, this is Fahid.
Welcome to Reality TV Audio Podcast, where we break down the latest in reality TV every day.
Glad to be here.
So, our mission for you on this deep dive is to really look past the gossip, right? We want to examine the mechanics behind it.
Yeah, the actual machinery of the drama.
Exactly. We're looking at the massive collision between these curated images, the stars manufactured for the cameras, and the incredibly messy, undeniable truths that just slip out the second they lose control of the edit.
Which is really, it's the core tension of modern entertainment.
Totally.
These individuals are attempting to act as the executive producers of their own personal lives.
Right.
But the internet, and sometimes their own production crew, operates as this rogue element. It just constantly destabilizes that control.
Okay, let's unpack this, starting with the complete collapse of the fourth wall over at Bravo.
Oh, the summer house situation.
Yes. They just concluded this massive internal corporate investigation over 2 leaked audio clips from the recent reunion taping.
And what did they find?
Well, the result was that they determined an individual directly involved in the production was the one who made the unauthorized release.
Wow. I actually want to pause on the mechanics of that for a second, because a reunion taping is essentially a digital fortress.
Right. Nobody has their phones. It's super locked down.
Exactly. These are closed sets. So when raw audio leaks, a network doesn't just ask around. They rely on really intense digital forensics.
Like tracking who downloaded what.
Yeah, production feeds often have invisible audio watermarks or access logs tied to specific employee credentials.
Oh, that's wild.
The fact that an insider bypassed those protocols to leak raw audio, it completely violates the foundational trust of the genre.
Because the cast has to feel safe, right?
Right. The talent needs to feel safe to bleed out all their grievances, knowing an editor will shape it later. This leak strips away the editor's hand entirely.
It just gives the audience the raw data.
Exactly.
But wait, doesn't the network sort of secretly love this? This is dominating the internet. It's essentially free marketing for the show.
You would think so, yeah. But from a corporate risk perspective, it's a nightmare.
Really? Why?
Because an unwatermarked, unauthorized leak means the network loses both monetization and narrative control.
Ah, I see.
If the cast feels they're being secretly recorded and exposed by the crew, they will self-produce even more heavily.
Which makes for boring TV.
Exactly. It ultimately ruins the authenticity the show relies on.
That makes a lot of sense. And, the raw data from this leak is incredibly damaging.
It's bad.
Clip number 1 features Kyle Cook confirming he called Wes Wilson a schmuck during the taping.
And just for context, schmuck is Yiddish slang, right? It basically means a foolish or contemptible person. It's not a compliment.
Definitely not. And add fuel to the fire, there are rumors that Amanda Batula was at a Yankees game telling people Wes was her boyfriend.
Which is just wow.
Right. Plus, right after the reunion wrapped, Kyle was spotted by fans outside a restaurant called San Sabino.
At 9 p.m.?
Yeah, around 9 p.m. He was with 2 girls and a guy, just staring at his phone and listening intently.
And his excuse was?
He claims he was just listening to checking in voice notes. But, come on, the timing is highly suspicious.
Well, the timing is what we call circumstantial, but it's absolutely damning in the court of public opinion.
Totally.
What we're witnessing is the audience acting as an open-source intelligence agency.
Oh, I love that phrasing.
It's true. The actual television episodes are almost secondary now. The real show is the location tracking, the fan sightings at San Sabino, the offhanded comments at a baseball game.
The off-camera reality is betraying the on-camera narrative in real time.
Precisely.
Which brings us to the second leaked clip. This one features accusations that Amanda kissed Kyle multiple times.
Which she claims was done jokingly.
Yeah, jokingly. And then she's supposedly left with West the very same night.
The drama.
In the audio, Ciara Miller is absolutely furious. She repeatedly calls Amanda out, reminding her, quote, "You are married to Kyle."
In Amanda's defense.
Amanda defends herself by saying they're separated and points out that Kyle is openly dating other people too. But I have to admit, I'm a little confused by Ciara's angle here.
Why is that?
If they are separated and Kyle is actively dating, why is Ciara holding Amanda to this rigid standard?
Well, it comes down to the friction between legal reality and social optics.
Okay, unpack that.
From a legal standpoint, until the divorce paperwork is totally finalized, Ciara views that boundary as active.
Oh, sure.
But more importantly, she's enforcing a social boundary. West is in their immediate, on-camera social circle.
Right, it's too close to home.
Exactly, and Kyle even chimes in on the leaked audio to defend Amanda, claiming West was too messed up to speak that night.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, and that Amanda actually left with a friend named Katie. It just highlights how blurred the lines are when your personal life, your romantic life, and your professional coworkers are all entangled in the exact same friend group.
It's a total mess. And to top it all off, Ciara brings up this PR statement about Amanda and West's relationship, demanding to know who wrote it.
Oh my gosh, this part.
Amanda literally blames ChatGPT before admitting it was a joke.
Using a generative AI model as a scapegoat for a messy PR statement is perhaps the most 2026 defense imaginable.
It really is. But, this trouble for narrative control isn't just happening within the closed loop of reality TV sets.
No, it's spilling over everywhere.
We are seeing a massive external shift where these stars are crossing over into legitimate A-list Hollywood ecosystems.
Which requires a totally different type of image management.
Oh, absolutely.
I mean, it requires completely different operational security. When you move from a reality TV bubble into the orbit of billionaires and A-listers,
the rules change.
The stakes of being photographed completely change.
Case in point, the Valley's Michelle Sonny was just spotted at Nobu, holding hands with music legend Dr. Dre.
Just incredible.
Think about the pivot here. She just split from Aaron Nosler in July 2025.
Right.
And her main complaint on the show was that Aaron was nitpicking her life and complaining she didn't go to the gym enough.
And now?
Now she's holding hands with a billionaire hip-hop mogul.
It completely recontextualizes her status in the industry.
It really does.
And it has this fascinating ripple effect through the entire reality TV universe, because it bridges a gap that audiences previously thought was impassable.
Well, it definitely bridged the gap for Shiana Shea from Vanderpump Rules.
Oh, the hall pass.
Yes. As soon as the Dr. Dre photos dropped, the internet resurrected this clip where Shiana admitted Dr. Dre was her ultimate hall pass in her marriage to Brock Davies.
But didn't Brock revoke it?
He literally revoked the hall pass. They were out in Los Angeles and realized Dr. Dre was actually in the same room.
Right.
Brock realized a meeting was highly attainable, and he was like, nope, hall pass revoked.
See, that is the mechanism of proximity at work.
How so?
Well, a hall pass is traditionally a safe hypothetical joke because the celebrity exists in an untouchable stratosphere.
Right, like, I'll never actually meet Ryan Gosling, so it's fine.
Exactly. But when reality stars and A-listers begin sharing the same geographic and social spaces in Los Angeles, those hypotheticals become literal liabilities.
Brock recognized that the barrier between their world and Dr. Dre's world had completely dissolved.
He saw the threat and shut it down.
Smart man. By the way, a quick shout out to our listener, Sarah, midway through here, who messaged us saying her 2026 bingo card did not have Dr. Dre dating a Bravo star on it.
Honestly, Sarah, nobody saw that coming.
Nobody. But this crossover phenomenon isn't just happening in LA.
Where else?
Over on The Real Housewives of Potomac, Giselle Bryant was photographed with Angelina Jolie at an Alpha Kappa Alpha, an AKA sorority mother-daughter brunch in Atlanta.
That is just a surreal visual.
Right. Their daughters, Angel and Zahara, are both in the sorority. Seeing a massive, enigmatic movie star like Angelina Jolie posing for a casual photo with Giselle Bryant is just visually jarring.
It's visually jarring, but honestly, it's strategically brilliant for both of them.
Really? How does Angelina benefit?
It operates as a mechanism of mutual normalization. For Angelina Jolie, it grounds her. It shows her participating in a relatable, traditional collegiate event just as a mother.
That makes sense. And for Giselle.
For Giselle Bryant, it provides an undeniable elevation of status.
Yeah, standing next to royalty, basically.
It proves to the audience that, away from the manufactured drama of reality TV, she actually operates in elite rooms.
That is a great way to look at it.
Yep.
Visual evidence used to elevate, but on the flip side, visual evidence is also be used as a weapon to completely dismantle co-stars.
Oh, the text messages.
Kyle Richards skipping Dorit Kemsley's book launch on The Real Housewives of Beverly Hills is the perfect example.
Walk us through the timeline on that.
So Kyle was exhausted, having been up since 2 a.m., and sent a text bowing out of the launch.
Very normal.
Right. And Dorit replied incredibly politely. She texted, "I get it. No worries. Take care of yourself."
Okay, so it's resolved.
Privately, yes. But then the cameras roll.
Huh.
Dorit sits down with Bozoma, Boz, St. John, and suddenly flip-flops, totally agreeing that Kyle's absence is terrible and making her look like an unsupportive friend.
Wow.
So at the reunion, Kyle literally prints out the polite text messages and exposes them to the entire group.
You see, the reunion stage operates as an appellate court for these casts.
Oh, cloud court, yeah.
When you rely purely on verbal arguments, it's so easily dismissed as he said, she said.
Everyone just denies it.
Right. But bringing a printed text message to a reunion is like handing over the open source code for your friendship.
The receipts?
It bypasses the PR spin, removes the producer's edit, and allows the audience to compile the objective truth for themselves.
But I want to challenge Kyle's tactics here for a second.
Okay, go for it.
Kyle accuses Dorit of being full of and trying to make her look like an a-hole for the cameras. But is Dorit actually being a malicious fake friend? Well, her literal job description is to produce compelling television. She has to sit down with Boz and create a scene. She can't just look at the camera and say, "Oh, Kyle texted me privately, everything is fine."
That's a fair point.
Kyle, by pulling out private, literal texts to bypass the show's narrative, feels like she's almost breaking the rules of engagement.
You're touching on the dual reality these casts live in.
Explain that.
There is the literal truth, which is the text message, and the emotional truth required for a television scene.
Oh, interesting.
Dorit is managing social etiquette in private. She doesn't want to start a text fight with an exhausted friend.
Nobody wanted that.
But in her professional capacity on camera with Boz, she has to vocalize the underlying disappointment to generate a storyline.
Otherwise, they have no show.
Exactly. Kyle is demanding absolute one-to-one consistency between Dorit's private text etiquette and her on-camera professional requirements.
Which is impossible.
In a reality TV ecosystem, demanding that level of consistency is basically demanding your coworker to stop doing their job.
That makes total sense. Kyle using text messages to control the narrative is one level of gameplay. But honestly, it is child's play compared to what happens when the internet digs up your actual legal history.
Yeah, that's a whole different level.
Because while you can delete a text, you cannot delete the digital panopticon of public court records.
If you step in front of a reality TV camera, you are essentially consenting to a forensic audit of your entire life.
It's terrifying.
There is no statute of limitations on public records in the digital age.
Well, Joellen Tiberi from The Real Housewives of Rhode Island is learning that the hard way.
Oh, this situation is so messy.
She has spent the entire season acting as the self-appointed truth teller, relentlessly exposing Rula Pontarelli's husband Brian's affair.
Right, she's been dragging Rilla all season.
Joellen is making sure every hair salon in the state knows the details. But then, reporters do what reporters do.
They dig.
They pull court records from 2014, before she married Gary Tiberi.
And what did they find?
It turns out Joellen filed for bankruptcy. She had $60,000 in debt, a repossessed 2013 BMW, and was surviving on $194 a month in SNAP benefits, with only $25 in liquid cash.
It just creates massive psychological dissonance for the viewer.
Completely.
You have someone projecting an image of extreme wealth and moral superiority on screen, while a PDF document from a decade ago mathematically proves the exact opposite.
It's crazy.
What drives this behavior is often a profound overcompensation.
Like deflecting.
Yes. The cast members who are most aggressive about exposing the perceived failings of others are typically employing an offensive strategy to distract the audience from their own vulnerabilities.
It's like trying to be the neighborhood watch commander when your own house has a neon sign flashing financial distress.
Perfect analogy.
But honestly, why do people go on these shows thinking their public bankruptcy won't be found? I mean, it's a public docket.
It stems from how human beings process time versus how the internet stores data.
What do you mean?
Well, to Joellen, 2014 was a lifetime ago. She navigated the bankruptcy, reinvented her life, married into a different socioeconomic bracket, changed her last name.
Right, so to her, it's ancient history.
In her mind, that era is entirely erased. But the internet doesn't experience chronological time.
No, it remembers everything.
To a search engine, a public filing from 2014 is stored right next to a photo from 2026. It is all immediately present.
Wow. Meanwhile, Rula isn't just taking Joellen's attacks lying down. She is actively fighting a war on two fronts.
She really is.
She's dealing with the bankruptcy fallout stuff, and she is fiercely defending her marriage to Brian, despite Brian's alleged mistress, Beth Walker, dropping hints all over Instagram.
So Rula's just doing damage control.
Totally. Rula went on Watch What Happens Live and proudly declared she's keeping her family together, claiming their relationship is actually better now than it was before the affair.
And Brian's defense for the affair.
Brian's defense is that the scenes showing his romance were heavily, quote, edited, or a complete setup.
Of course.
But the absolute wildest mechanism Rula's using to protect her narrative. She claims the recent photographic proof of Brian and the mistress was actually AI generated.
Okay, we have to unpack the psychology of that defense because it is incredibly sophisticated, even if it sounds absurd.
Right.
This is a concept researchers call the liar's dividend.
I'm actually not familiar with that. How does the liar's dividend work?
So, in an era where deepfakes and AI image generation are widely accessible, the mere existence of this technology benefits dishonest people.
Oh, because they can just cast doubt.
Exactly. 10 years ago, a photograph was objective proof. Today, because the public knows AI can fabricate images, a guilty party can simply claim a real photo is fake.
That is wild.
They don't need to prove it's AI, they just need to introduce a tiny fraction of doubt. The liar's dividend means that the proliferation of fake media allows people to plausibly deny authentic evidence.
Wow. So it doesn't even matter if the Bravo audience actually believes Rula's claim that the photos are AI.
Nope.
By just putting the concept into the atmosphere, she muddies the water enough to survive the news cycle.
Exactly. It completely degrades the currency of visual proof.
Rula is also utilizing a much more traditional reality TV defense, which is the counterattack.
Oh yeah, going on the offensive.
Joellen had previously claimed Rula wasn't actually sick during filming, but was just suffering from headaches because she was taking too much Ozempic.
The Ozempic accusations are everywhere right now.
They are. Rula fired back, stating Joellen pops Ozempic like candy, and clarified that she was actually in urgent care due to the severe stress her husband and Joellen were putting her under. She even promised to bring her medical receipts to the reunion.
It is just an exhausting way to live.
I can't imagine.
They're trapped in this reactive cycle, constantly plugging leaks in a dam of their own making.
Yeah.
But there is an alternative method to handling your past in this industry, and it involves proactively detonating the information yourself.
Which brings us to Stassi Schroeder.
Yes.
She is returning to the landscape with a new Hulu series called House of Stassi, which premieres July 29th.
Now this is a major pivot.
It is. She had her darkest, most chaotic moments publicly exposed in 2020 when she was fired from Vanderpump Rules over racially insensitive behavior.
Right.
But now, she's returning with an executive producer credit on her own show.
See, that executive producer credit is the ultimate form of narrative insurance.
Narrative insurance, I like that.
Stassi learned the hardest possible lesson about what happens when you lease your life to a network and allow them to control the edit.
Right, they can destroy you.
As an EP, she possesses the contractual authority to look at footage and say, no, this crosses a line.
Which changes everything.
She specifically noted she needs that power to protect her young children, Hartford and Messer. She is leveraging her infamy to secure ownership of her future.
And her strategy is total transparency.
How so?
She openly admitted she is actually grateful for the 2020 firing. She said it forced her to grow, acknowledging she'd probably still be an incredibly selfish and chaotic person if she had remained in the Pump Rules ecosystem.
That's rare self-awareness for this genre.
It is. She also revealed a secret, years-long falling out with Katie Maloney that the press never even caught wind of.
Wow.
She even compared the new filming process to therapy, advising her husband, Beau, to just put all their marital issues on the table constructively.
It is the exact inverse of the Rhode Island strategy. Instead of hiding court documents or blaming AI, Stassi is publishing her own flaws.
Taking the power back.
The logic is simple. If you put all your secrets on the table yourself, you neutralize the threat of extortion or exposure. A leak has no power if the information is already public domain.
She understands the machinery of the industry so well now that she explicitly refused to participate in the traders.
Wait, really? The Traitors is huge.
Even though it's a massive hit, she turned it down because it's an NBC Universal show, and she stated she simply does not trust that network family anymore. She equated it to being thrown to the wolves.
That shows a rare level of boundary setting in an industry that usually demands total submission.
Absolutely.
She knows that stepping back into the NBC Universal infrastructure means surrendering the EP control she just fought so hard to build at Hulu.
But, as much as we analyze the power dynamics and the intense scrutiny, we cannot ignore the fact that sometimes the absolute chaos of reality TV yields a multi-million-dollar happy ending.
Or, at the very least, a financial maneuver dressed up as a romantic reconciliation.
Huh. Rightfully so. I'm always highly skeptical of the fairy tale narrative when real estate of this magnitude is involved.
Always follow the money.
Over on The Real Housewives of Miami, Alexia Napola and her ex-husband Todd have seemingly fully reconciled.
Wow.
This comes just a little over a year after finalizing a highly publicized divorce. And they didn't just announce they were dating again.
What did they do?
They dropped $5.3 million on a stunning 4,100 square foot condo at the Ritz-Carlton residences in Miami Beach.
A transaction they made with a crypto investor named Zach Witkoff, who is currently entangled in his own legal issues.
Of course he is.
The overlapping layers of wealth and litigation here are just staggering.
Let's look at the timeline because the mechanics of this are wild.
Break it down.
Todd files a massive $11 million defamation lawsuit against Bravo and NBC Universal, which literally puts the production of the show on pause.
Huge stakes.
The pressure mounts, they go through very public divorce.
And then?
Todd suddenly dismisses the $11 million lawsuit. They get right back together, and they purchase a $5.3 million mansion as if the last 2 years of legal and emotional warfare never happened.
It's mind-boggling.
Was the divorce just a legal shield during the lawsuit?
It is entirely possible. In high net worth circles, divorce can sometimes be utilized as a mechanism for asset protection during complex litigation.
Wow.
But even if we assume the emotional turmoil was 100% genuine, it highlights the accelerant nature of reality television.
The accelerant nature, right?
The pressure of the cameras, the network lawsuits, the public scrutiny, it acts like a pressure cooker. It forces relationships to burn down incredibly fast.
But then they bounce back just as fast.
Once the lawsuit is dropped and the pressure valve is released, they have the financial resources to instantly rebuild a new foundation at the Ritz-Carlton.
Alexia gave a quote to Page 6 that beautifully summed up her perspective. She said, quote, "I don't know how to unlove a person. Once I've loved you, I guess I love too hard."
It is a poetic sentiment.
It is.
But functionally, it proves that the financial and emotional elasticity of these cast members is unlike anything in the normal world.
Elasticity is the perfect word.
They can absorb a multi-million-dollar lawsuit and a divorce and pivot to a luxury reconciliation without missing a beat.
Which brings us back to the core truth of this entire deep dive. Reality TV acts as a funhouse mirror.
Yes.
You have individuals fighting tooth and nail to project perfect marriages, untouchable financial stability, or just polite, innocent text exchanges with a friend.
Trying to hold the facade together.
But the underlying truth, whether it's an unauthorized audio file, a bankruptcy docket from a decade ago, or a luxury real estate purchase with the man you just divorced, it always finds a way to surface.
The truth always comes out.
The harder you try to control the narrative, the more explosive the leak becomes.
Control is an illusion here. The minute you invite the public to consume your life, you hand them the magnifying glass. The skeletons will always outgrow the closet.
I want you, the listener, to think about your own life for a second. This dynamic is exactly why we are so captivated by this genre.
It's relatable in a weird way.
Underneath the Botox, the Nobu dinners, and the produced scenes, it highlights a universal struggle. We are all trying to present a curated version of ourselves to our coworkers and our friends, even when our lives are messy behind the scenes.
But these stars are just doing it with a production budget and massive immediate consequences.
And I will leave you with this final thought to mull over.
What is it?
If your personal digital footprint, your private text threads, your smartphone location history, your search queries, and your financial records from 10 years ago were suddenly dumped online tomorrow,
Oh, that's a scary thought.
how would your audience view you? Would the curated image you project at the office hold up against the raw data?
Probably not for most of us.
And more importantly, would you survive the reunion?
That is a terrifying question.
Keep that in mind, because on tomorrow's Deep Dive, we've got our hands on a rumor about a major franchise casting shakeup that is going to leave one veteran star completely out in the cold. You won't want to miss it.